this week's best MMA bets. We're talking UFC 294. I'm going to give you guys my lock of the week. We'll talk my most confident picks, favorite underdogs, prop/value bets, and then finish it out with the parlays. So make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn the post notifications on, and make sure to share the video as well. Currently riding an 8-lock streak. Last week, it was Chris Gutierrez who got a dominant win, pushed it to 8 in a row. Week before that, Bill Algeo, so on, so forth. Looking to make it 9 straight locks hitting this Saturday, and I'm going to do it. So let's jump right into it. It's the lock of the week. Khamzat Chimaev, lock of the week. I see him beating Kamaru Usman, and I've been saying this for years now, that I thought he would be the guy to dethrone Usman at 170 pounds. We now get the fight at 185 pounds. We now have the matchup at a heavier weight class, and I honestly think that's even more favorable to Khamzat Chimaev. And it's not just that. What do we also have in favor of Khamzat Chimaev? The fact that Usman is taking this fight on very short notice. And now, at the open workout, it looks like his knee might have popped out of place. Pretty much every red flag you can have is on the Usman side. The odds for the fight, albeit, are a bit wide. They're in the minus 300 range. Earlier today, minus 275. It's going to vary a bit. But the confidence for Khamzat Chimaev here is through the roof. I see him as the better man in the fight, younger man in the fight. And I honestly also feel like he's going to be the man to dethrone Sean Strickland. I feel like Khamzat Chimaev has the limelight on him, and he's going to shine brighter than you could even imagine. I cannot wait to see it. I think it's going to be a great Saturday. Now, as far as prop betting, if you're thinking about betting Khamzat maybe inside of the distance, Chimaev inside of the distance is minus 135. But looking at him to win in a specific method, submission is plus 325. There's a real chance he could sub up Kamaru Usman. Knockout win for him is plus 195. I am going to expect a finish, but Usman is a long-time champion and one of the best guys in the world, specifically at 170. Now moving up to 85, it's going to be interesting to see how he translate. But I'll tell you this. Decision is also not impossible. That's plus 250 just to read a slew of props. Yes, the money line is ugly and a bit wide, but my confidence is through the absolute roof here on Khamzat Chimaev. I feel like a sub, there's a good chance he gets under a neck, potentially rear naked choke. I definitely think he's putting Usman on his back, and he's going to beat him up when he puts him there. So Khamzat Chimaev is this week's lock. It's going to be 9 in a row on Saturday. So, guys, if you don't watch the Fight Companions, you should. I'll be live for the entire UFC 294 fight card. Tune into it. It'll be at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Obviously, main card at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And honestly, normally I say we'll sweat out the lock together, but I don't think we'll be sweating. I think Khamzat's going to be dominating. Chimaev, lock of the week, and it's going to make it 9 in a row. Let's talk my most confident picks on the card here. I have 4 of them, which I'm going to bring for you guys. I'll list them off, and then we'll talk slightly more in detail about each one. Magomed Ankalaev, Ikram Aliskerov, Said Nurmagomedov, and Javid Basharat. Now, you might be saying to yourself, dude, a lot of these lines are wide. At the end of the day, the most confident picks section, it's regardless of the odds, I'm throwing high confidence at you. Ankalaev to beat Johnny Walker, it makes perfect sense to me. I think he's going to get a unanimous decision over Johnny Walker. He's technically superior. He's a southpaw. And I also think he can control Johnny Walker on the ground, regardless of Walker's improvements. And you're talking to a Johnny Walker fan. I love Johnny Walker. I hope that he proves me wrong, but I doubt it. That Nikita Krylov is ingrained in me, and I think of him on his back. I think Ankalaev gets a unanimous decision. Over 1.5 is minus 160. I think that's a sneaky price tag. And then looking at Ankalaev to win by a decision is plus 215. Makes a ton of sense. But yeah, money line's minus 350. So money line is damn wide for Ankalaev. But he's the A side all day long. Next one is Ikram Aliskerov, and the odds don't get sweeter, they get uglier. Minus 550, but come on, he's fighting Warley Alves. This is a complete and utter mismatch. Ikram Aliskerov was scheduled to fight a top 15 middleweight in Nasruddin Imavov. Now he's fighting a mid-welterweight in Warley Alves, whose biggest moment of his career is, beating a young Colby Covington by submission, but he's got 2 straight losses. He just lost to Nicholas Dalby. There's no shot. It's Ikram all day. Now, how's he getting it done? I think knockout or submission, both are live methods. Knockout win for Aliskerov is plus 125 with a sub at plus 195. My official call was the sub side, is the sub side. But both are possible. Inside distance, minus 275. I mean, it's better than a minus 550 money line. It's Aliskerov. It's confidence through the roof. He's going to run over Warley Alves. Said Nurmagomedov, Muin Gafurov, I was surprised to see these odds at this level of closeness. Minus 205 for Said Nurmagomedov to plus 175 for Muin Gafurov. Because Nurmagomedov has a submission threat in this fight. He's way better in the striking. He's going to stop Gafurov's takedowns. Gafurov is like a looping and kind of wild puncher, and he'll use that to close the gap on guys. Nurmagomedov is dangerous with front headlock positions. Guillotine choke, Darce, Anaconda, all live for him. Could potentially even get a rear naked if Gafurov and him get into a crazy scramble. And on the feet, Nurmagomedov is way better. So it's Nurmagomedov all day long for me. Minus 205. I think is a bit of a steal. Now, submission for Nurmagomedov is plus 200 with a decision also at plus 200. The money line at minus 205, I think this could be 3-1. I guess it's because Muin Gafurov is still, a prospect on the come up, but he just lost to John Castaneda. He has a loss to Chad Henniger. Said Nurmagomedov is way better than all of them. All of his losses besides maybe John Lineker, because John Lineker is an absolute monster. But yeah, he doesn't offer the submission threat nor the kicking skill set that Said Nurmagomedov does. So I think it's Said Nurmagomedov all day long, every single day of the week. It's all Said Nurmagomedov. Next one, and the final one for the most confident pick section, it is Javid Basharat to take out Victor Henry. I think that he's going to be bashing some rats here. I think that Victor Henry's going to get out kickboxed, out grappled, and he's going to lose 3 rounds to zip. I think it's a clean shutout, and it's Javid Basharat's coming out party because they're kind of turning the knob a little bit. Last fight was Mateus Mendoza, and he's not all that great. I mean, you saw that with Nate Maness. The dude was just hunting legs. And Basharat cleanly beat him. Thing about Basharat, if you have one gripe, and we all can have this gripe for him, he's not a finisher. He's winning these fights by decision. But that's also a positive in the fact that if you are betting him, granted, minus 625, I doubt most of you are money lining him, but probably a parlay piece. He'll fight smart, and I think he'll win a decision. Maybe even cruise to a decision in this fight here. Over 2.5 is minus 275, no surprise. And Basharat by decision is minus 150. Yeah, he's probably winning it by a decision. He's definitely going to beat Victor Henry here. I know Henry's got a big win over Barcelos, sure. But come on, man. Javid Basharat's that prospect to watch. The guy's highly skilled. And I think he's going to pick Victor Henry apart here. Out-grapple him, out-strike him. He's better everywhere. And he's winning the fight. Javid Basharat to get it done. Now, let's jump to the favorite underdogs. And really, it's the favorite underdog because this card is a little dry on dog money. Favorite underdog on the card, Alexander Volkanovski, plus 212 range. Okay, I'll tell you guys, yes, I recognize that Makhachev is a substantial threat, but I have been feeling that Alexander Volkanovski is going to win this fight since it got announced. And sometimes you got to go with here. Sometimes you got to go with the gut. He hits damn hard. It's underrated with his power. He's definitely better than their last fight. He looked, I think, the best we've ever seen against Yair Rodriguez. And sure, Volkanovski, you can say he wasn't training. He just had surgery. I think he was slightly preparing for this fight. I believe that he was looking at the date and saying, if something happens, I'm willing to step in. So I better be prepared for it. I think that I think that Islam Makhachev is actually going to have a difficult adjustment because this is a different stylistic matchup. These guys have also seen each other before, and Volkanovski gave Islam Makhachev the most tough test, besides his knockout loss to Adriano Martins, you could say that was a fluke, ever. in his whole fighting career. I think Volkanovski's the man to beat Islam Makhachev, and I'm picking Volkanovski. Yes, just money lining if you're dog playing it, but to read off the knockout prop, it sits at plus 375 for Volkanovski. I do think he has a KO chance with his hands, and I think his gas tank is going to hold up into the later rounds, regardless of him not being at the, extended 8-10 week camp. Yes, he's taking the fight on 10 days notice. I personally believe he's been preparing. I'm picking Volkanovski, and he is the favorite underdog on the card. I love his chances to win this fight here. I do want to jump into the prop/value bets and discuss a couple of things. So let's bring it up. All right. So on the prop/value bet side, I'm going to bring up this prop. It's Shara Bullet by KO. It's plus 100, but I think there's a really good chance that Shara is knocking out Bruno Silva. Even though, yeah, it's not a beautiful tag at plus 100, I still think the likelihood is high. And then also Muhammad Makhachev, who I have pretty good confidence in, but just, because of the knee injury last time out, maybe you got to, avoid him from the most confident pick section. Doesn't mean I'm not confident. By sub plus 140, I don't think it's crazy that he'd sub up a Tim Elliott. Now, obviously, I'm limited on the underdog attacks on this card, but I was just thinking, I really believe Nathaniel Wood's going to win, but Naimov by KO, I was just curious what the knockout prop was sitting at, so I looked it up, plus 600. I'm not telling you to do that by any means. I'm not telling you to bet on anything. I'm just telling you what I'm thinking. I think Naimov's got a puncher's chance against Nathaniel Wood, though I really feel like Nathaniel Wood is clearly the better fighter and should technically pick him apart. I feel like the peak side, too, is an under fight. Under 1.5 minus 112, I don't love, but under 2.5 minus 275, I do think it ends inside of the distance. I think somebody's getting finished in this fight here. And I look forward to finding out who ends up getting finished off. And Cedric Dumas by sub was another one. Plus 375. I could see him strangling a tired Abu Azaitar. Over 1.5 minus 155. I do think the strangle would be in the third round or maybe late second. Dumas, I do like to win. Holy shit, his line spreading wide. Those are the prop/value bets to give you guys a little, idea of some extra thoughts that I've been having about this card. It's a little extended section. I do want to talk parlays because there are some interesting parlays that we can play. So Khamzat Chimaev, you can see it here. It's around minus 300 at BetMGM or DraftKings, even minus 340. Holy shit. But yeah, Khamzat's the lock. I don't care. The odds to me, it's irregardless. He's going to win the fight for sure. Minus 180, Aliskerov, Chimaev to get it done. Adding in the likes of Ankalaev is now plus 100. Javid Basharat plus 136. And then if you added in Saeed Nurmagomedov. So all the highest level of confidence calls on the card, plus 245. To get into your more crazy territory, it's going to be a little more difficult, for sure. But I think I can do it. Over 1.5 here. Shara Bullet, yes, plus 705. Ooh. I don't even want to play the over there. Fuck that. Under 2.5 here, plus 973. But I don't know. Something's saying leave that out. It might go distance. Plus 700 might be as good as it can fucking get for me. Then obviously you added in Dog Volkanovski, plus 2515, which that could bring you to absolute madness territory. Who else could be added in to this lineup? Like a Makhachev, you throw him down and you got plus 3,000. Let's take Volkanovski off the slate though, plus 894. Jeez, it's ugly. This card has some wide-ass favorites, and it's irritating. I won't lie to you guys. I get frustrated seeing how wide these favorites are, but there's nothing you can do. I got a lot of confidence on some of these big faves. I do, and it is what it is. Now, just a straight value, Chimaev, Saeed Nurmagomedov is not a crazy call by any means. That right there is around minus 106, so it's nearly even money, which I don't think is a bad idea. Basharadin, now you're at plus 130. These three's a great call right here. I think this definitely happens. Saeed out of it. Okay. Ikram, Aliskerov. Let's bring him in. What do I got now? Minus 119. Ankalaev, plus 103. As much as I love Johnny Walker, I really think Ankalaev picks him apart. High chance. Crazy high chance. I don't really recommend going D-Gen mode. Volkanovski, Chimaev, plus 333. I mean, if you're looking to chase the plus money. But safety parlays are better with like the most confident picks or the lock of the week, mixing and matching that, especially this week. Because I recognize Makhachev is a dangerous test and Volkanovski coming in at short notice. But I don't care what anybody's saying. I really believe Volkanovski can put hands on Islam Makhachev and end them. So this might be a great parlay. But the lock of the week is going to hit. I know we're moving to 9 in a row, guys. And I absolutely can't wait for it. I think those are good with the parlays. I don't want to go too nuts, man. I guess Shara Bullet. One more. I got one more. A little alternate action. Shara Bullet with Saeed plus 104. Then you add in the side of Khamzat Chimaev. And now you got plus 172. I like this one. You got 2 OVs and an EV. Nothing looking bad about that one. Add in Ankalaev. What do we got? Plus 250. Aliskerov plus 309. I see all these fighters as winners. I would say, like, if you're going to avoid somebody, maybe you avoid Jubilee or you avoid Wood. Just recognizing Jubilee's a little stiff on the feet. And Wood is against a dangerous Naimov who could land the death punch, but probably not. Be cautious with your bets, guys. Bet intelligently on this card, but I think the lock of the week is an absolute lock, and I cannot wait for it. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this week's best MMA bets. Make sure you guys smash that like button if you haven't. And if you're new, subscribe with the post notifications turned on, and don't just leave them on personalized. Put them on all so you don't miss a video, because I got daily content dropping on the channel. Let me know in the comments, what is your guys' lock of the week? Throw me some of your favorite bets on the card. Definitely some parlays. I want to see what the people's parlays are, especially some of you guys playing things in the plus 500 or more territory. How are we mixing and matching them? And if you got nothing to say in the comments, but you just enjoy the content and you want to support, drop a W in the chat to boost the algorithm for your boy. Much love, my people. I appreciate you all tuning in, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace, everybody.